What would you do if the one thing that could change your future, education, was almost out of reach? Welcome to the second episode of my journey, where I will share how resilience, education, and community shaped my path to breaking barriers. Well, I was born into a world where education was more of a privilege than a given right. My early life was spent in a small village in Bangladesh, where my father, a retired military officer, Captain Muhammad Ibrahim, was not just a figure of authority, but a visionary leader. He believed in building not just roads, schools, but futures. It was his deep commitment to the community that would become the foundation of the values I still hold today. As a child, I studied in the same rural secondary school that my father worked tirelessly to build. Little did I know that was very school would be where my journey as an educator would begin. In the year 2000, fresh out of university, I found myself walking into that same familiar school once again, this time as a teacher, teaching English and social science to students who came from very different backgrounds. I once felt like full circle moment, but it was also the beginning of something much bigger than myself. In those early years, I saw firsthand the barriers these students faced, the lack of resources, limited access to quality education, and the systematic obstacles that stood in their way. The same challenges I had navigated as a student were still holding back so many of the young girls and boys I taught. I knew something had to change, but I didn't yet realize how far that desire to create change would take me. By 2005, my passion for education expanded beyond the four walls of my classrooms. I had the incredible opportunity to become a teacher trainer, the role that would allow me to impact schools across Bangladesh. Through the Ministry of Education, supported by the World Bank and BRAC, I travel across the country, training secondary school teachers to enhance their skills, improve the quality of education in their classrooms. At first, I had to receive numerous professional development training for myself, and I was passing on that knowledge, planting seeds of change in schools far and wide. Then in 2007, life presented me with an amazing opportunity that would completely reshape my perspective about education. I was selected to participate in a prestigious fellowship, the Teaching Excellence and Achievement Program in the United States, for 6 weeks. I lived in the University of Alabama, and it was my first time outside of Bangladesh, and I was in a world very different the world I know. The experience opened my eyes to new teaching methodologies, gave me the chance to learn from educators from the US and from around the world. When I returned to Bangladesh after completing the fellowship, I was determined to share what I had learned. I was a completely new person. From 2007 to 10, I led workshops for rural teachers and eager to support them with new strategies that could enhance their classrooms. The energy, the enthusiasm from those workshops solidified my commitment to educational reform. But I wanted to do more. It was not enough. I wanted to create something lasting, something that could ripple through communities and generations. In 2009, I took a bold step. I established the Empowerment and Human Development Society, in brief, EHDS, a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving the quality of education in secondary schools. Our mission was very clear from the beginning: support teachers and students, especially young girls, through teachers training programs, after school initiative, It was my way of turning my vision of system change into action and of giving back to the community that had shaped me. Even as I work with the teachers and students, I was also managing something far more personal, my role as a mother. By this time, I was married with 3 young children. Balancing the demands of motherhood with my growing career was not a small feat. There were days I felt stretched too thin, torn between the responsibilities of raising my own children and the drive to contribute to the something greater than myself. Yet, my family has always been my greatest source of strength. My children grew up watching me navigate these roles: a teacher, role of a leader, and a mother. As they saw me balance work, home, community service, they too develop a deep understanding of resilience, the importance of giving back. Each of them carries the values I work so hard to instill: a commitment to education, a compassion, and service to others. Looking back, I realized that our story has always been one of the resilience. From those early days in the village school to becoming a teacher trainer and a community leader, my journey has been about building bridges, breaking barriers, and nurturing a legacy of change. This is why I'm so passionate about sharing my story, so others can see what is possible and take steps to create change in their own communities. But this is just the beginning. The road ahead still holds many untold stories: stories of struggles, triumphs, and lessons learned along the way. And so, as I look forward to sharing more of this journey with you, I invite you to walk alongside me, because while my story may have started in a small village in Bangladesh, it always been about something much larger, about how each of us can contribute to building a more just, compassionate, and educated world. What barriers have you broken in your life or in your community? Share your story in the comments. I would love to hear how you are making a difference. If you are passionate about education, social justice, or simply want to hear stories of overcoming challenges, I would love you to subscribe and stay with me on this journey. See you in the next episode. Thank you.